Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, curling fans, and curlers. Welcome to the fourth day of the Northern Ontario men and women's provincial playdowns. We've just gotten underway. Rob Norris from the Little Current Curling Club here in the booth with Jordan. Jordan, say hi.
Hello, everyone. Jordan Smith.
Jordan Smith is our tech guy tonight. And so we are underway. We're featuring the game tonight is Team Burns against Team Johnston. Team Johnston is in red. Team Burns is in blue. And Burns is throwing their first rock here. First rock from Team Johnston. In the house, 4 foot. And we've got a nose hit by the Team Burns lead, Krista Burns. Oh, no, sorry, Laura Masters. Team Burns' lead, Laura Masters. Second, Sarah Guy. Third, Justin Murphy and skip Krista Burns. Team Johnston's just delivered. They have Jen Lutka. Second, Joanne Forget. Third, Mackenzie Daly. And Laura Johnston, she is throwing last shot skip rocks tonight. Had a big crowd this afternoon. Tonight we have another good crowd. Were some teams eliminated this afternoon. Local rink Jordan Chandler lost a nail biter in the last end, and so they have ended their run at the provincial championships. We've got Team Adams and Team Workington on sheet D. They're playing off to see who moves on to tomorrow. And we've got a rub off and roll out, not removing the Burns blue, and they'll have an opportunity to lie two here. Sarah Guy's shot crossing the center line. And those rocks evened up. Try a hit and a roll to bring those two shots closer together and look for an eventual double. Team Johnston looks like they're going to have a partial roll here, and too much of a roll, and spills out the back. Hangs around, but looks from our vantage point as it's out the back. And Team Burns, another opportunity to lie two. Sarah Guy coming out. He's got a lovely delivery. Nice and square. They've come up. Corner guard sitting out there for them now. Team Johnston will take another run at that blue. Third, Justin Murphy. It's going to hit and roll out, and is it enough? And just enough to get it to sneak out the back there. Sorry, that was Mackenzie Daly on the Johnston team there. That was my mistake. Hopefully we've solved some of our technical problems that we've experienced over the week. The feed in the booth up here looks good. We moved some of the stands. The camera on the one end was getting bounced around by the bleachers, and we figured out that that was what was giving some of the reverberation to our camera. So hopefully anybody can give us some feedback on how the streaming is coming along. That'd be appreciated. I catch a corner of this, and enough to move it out. Yep. Nice shot. Team Johnston's line 1. Justin Murphy is throwing a soft weight takeout. It's going to be a little roll to center line. Down to Skips Rocks. McKenna Barnes says, streaming looks good. Glad to hear that. As I said, we had some technical difficulties earlier in the week, but we seem to have them rectified. And once again, I'd like to thank everyone involved with the production. Special thanks to Manitoulin Secondary School and all the help that they provided. Dave Hall on the installation of the electrical wiring for it. And here looks Laura's shot on the way. Pretty much nose hit, covers the pin. As we get a roll here, we're looking like we'll probably have a blanked first end. We have one idle sheet tonight. Team Horgan is out practicing on sheet D. We'll be playing later tomorrow, and tomorrow morning we'll have the men's finals. 3 teams, I believe it will be tomorrow morning, involved in the final eliminations. Nose hit. By Krista Burns, and Laura will come down with her last shot. I'm going to try to get a roll to the left behind that corner and maybe force Team Burns into either a difficult shot or at least in trying to force the one. Jordan made that smooth transition to that end of the shot there, and it just sneaks out the back, it looks like. So our first end will end in a blank. We'll keep an eye on the other scores to let you know where and how they're progressing. Ice again looks great. 5 feet of curl, 14 plus on split time, hog to hog seems to be pretty consistent. And that end is in the books. On to the second end. You'll see behind the players the time clocks. Each team has 38 minutes of thinking time and 2 timeouts per game. For the most part, haven't had too many challenges with getting our games in on time. We've had a couple that have been tight, but Team Johnston is elected to throw their first one into the house and just covers the pin. On top of First General, one of our sponsors for this week. Again, we want to thank all our sponsors, including First General and Redbow, Scott family, and all the staff at Redbow. Thanks very much. Nose hit. Looks like neither team wants to throw up guards this end. It might be a quick back to the glass end here. Hitting just hangs on to the back 12. Team Burns is now elected to throw up the corner. No, my mistake. She's thrown there. She's thrown the intern. Yeah, they're throwing the corner up. Team Johnston's going to try to choke that off. See if I can get a split time on this. $14.7 brings that down just to the top of the button. Team Burns will try to hit and roll behind that corner that they put up. in just too much of a roll, but looks like it's... Jordan, we can't see that, can we? We cannot. TSN could probably zoom their camera in and find that, but we are limited in our technological capacity, so we will do what we can do, and we'll say it's an unknown right now if that blue rock stayed in or out. Kind of looks out from this perspective now. Team Johnston's coming around the... Rocks finish hard and there it starts to go, but not enough to partially bury. Team Burns now. What? Are they going to run that rock or are they going to force the issue and come in? Looks like they're looking at the run on that red. Peel the front center. Maybe get lucky and catch that back red in the 12-foot on the way by. Looks like she's going to hit this close and gets it. Nice shot. Very nice shot. Those are the shots that win you games. They don't necessarily give you an extra point for it, although some scorers will. But that was a really nice shot. That brought the blank back into play. Mackenzie Daly throws up another one short, just off the center. We'll see if Team Burns wants to, and it looks like she's thinking about throwing it into the house. So again, we'll try to get a split time on this draw. I missed the stop on that as I was watching. Looks like maybe a little bit deeper than she would have liked to. Probably wanted to be top of button as opposed to T-line on that, but good shot. Team Johnston will try to follow it down, freeze on top. That looks like it's out there a long ways. And a little heavy. Slips behind the Team Burns blue rock, and Krista Burns will throw another one on top of that. Justin Murphy, her last shot here. By a rock and a half. It starts to come over hard, and the ice, as it has been all week with draw weight, the final 8 feet makes a hard turn. She's got 2 buried, and Team Johnston's looking at running the red back, or maybe just squeaking by. I think a little bit of that blue was exposed. There's about a 1.5 foot separation between those two blue shots. And Laura's going to try the run back, it looks like. Burns has the hammer this end, so Team Johnston trying to take that 2 that's looking at them away. Tries it between the hole, between those two blues. Leaves the red out in front. Opened up the intern side of it, but Burns has an opportunity here to get another one in there and really, really put the pressure on Team Johnston. Blues are exposed, so where she wants to end up, it's at first and second. Gonna come the other way and try to get only top 4 foot. Shot rock's just off the pin, and the second blue is 6 or 8 inches outside the 4 foot, and that's sitting middle 8. So I think she probably is wanting to get this in second, maybe even second shot. Weight looks good. Lots of room. Don't want to be behind that tee line. And pretty nice shot. Johnston's got a tough. Her last shot here, it looks like she's trying to slash double on that blue. And I think her hope here is that she only concedes 1. No, they've changed. Look like they're changing their thought here. If we had our X's and O's, Jason, we'd be drawing on the board right now. But I don't think that's going to accomplish anything. So once again, we are not TSN. Just a couple of volunteers sitting in actually a very warm booth. It's I've been doing some scorekeeping this week, and it is significantly warmer up here than it is out on the ice. Team Johnston, they're going to play on second shot blue, And it looks like if she hits that just kind of off a center with enough weight, you can make the double and maybe spin into that third blue. So this I think is a makeable shot, but I think the weight that it requires is going to be pretty significant. And she's tight and just got by and threw it hard, but it no, and that was, sorry, my apologies. Yeah, so she was not able to remove the second stone. Blues line 2. Are they going to they're going to throw it lightweight takeout on that and punch it through the hole, as opposed to the outturn draw. Delivery on the way. Nice shot. Very nice. And first points go to Team Burns. Wait for the official to post that score. On sheet D, the men's game beside that, our televised game, Team Workington has jumped out to a 2-0 lead over Team Adams. Over on ice 1, it's McCormick versus McCarville, and McCarville is up 1-0, playing in the third. And it was a 4 for Team Burns over Team Johnston on our sheet. So they've jumped out to a quick lead here. On sheet B, Team Despins has jumped ahead 3-0 over Team Man. Team Burns line 2. Team Johnston will try coming around that corner guard. Good looking shot here. Got enough. Not enough to get in. Nice line, but just a little short. Team Burns is going to ignore those two corners, and they're throwing up a center guard. Covers half of that front center blue. I want to send out a thank you again to our committee that organized this event, to Chair Joe Cooper, Co-Chair Kim Cooper, Administrator Margot Bickle, Treasurer Scott Mosher, John Hodder, long history of involvement in curling in Northern Ontario, and Ashley Huck as our volunteer coordinator. Team Johnston removes one of the Team Burns stones, rolls outside 12. You can get over to the other side of that sheet. They've got some cover over there, and maybe they can get back a couple at least of the those points that they gave up in that last end. This one looks like a little roll. They're going to try and hit shot and roll behind. They've got three rocks out front to give them lots to roll to. Seconds last shots. And not going to get the roll. But kind of just off a corner of that blue, so Team Burns is not going to be able to get the roll either behind that cover, unless they lose their might lose their own blue with that roll. We'll wait and see where Justin Murphy's shot ends up here. Just a little roll. So Team Johnston has another chance here. And I think they'd truly like to get at least a couple back this end after that 4 they gave up the last end. Mackenzie Daly's first shot. And it's going to be just on nose. Weiss's last shot's coming up here. And not going to get the roll again. I'm going to have to play that back one now. The rocks have moved up into the house far enough that getting that roll probably easier now off of that back counting blue rock. Mackenzie Daly shot. Second attempt at this roll. And this is looking better, but maybe a little thin and too thin. Need to stick on those because now Team Burns, what will they decide to do? Draw in. Might as well beat Team Johnston in, I think. Trying to decide which way is easier to come around that center blue one. Looks like they're going to throw the in turn on that. They call it tight out of her hand. And it's going to wreck on the front blue. Open that up. Whether or not Team Johnston will try to follow that in, or whether they're coming into the house. Yeah, they need to score some points here. And we'll try to get a split on this again. See what draw weight looks like. Looks like it might be a little bit hot. We have 13-7-5, and just to the back, of the forefoot. Gives Burns an opportunity to come down to it and force a single. Looking shots. Down moves it back 8-10 inches. Top of the pin. Button. Team Johnston. Are they looking at? Probably looking at scoring options versus just the one. A straight back double. I could count two. Encourage folks to come out tomorrow. As I said, we'll be winding down with our playoffs tomorrow, crowning a champion in both men's and women's 2024 Northern Ontario Men's and Women's Curling Championship. That's going to over curl. And she wrecks on the front guard, and Team Burns has put another blue up on the board, and 5-0. Workington has taken another deuce, stolen 2 in the third on Team Adams, and they're up 4-0 on sheet D. Loser on that game, that will end their run at the Northern Ontario Men's. The back on our sheet C, Lead Rocks coming down, and Team Burns has thrown another one top of the house, just down, just half in the 4-foot. We'll likely see Team Johnston try to get some corners up here. They're in need of scoring. They need at least a couple to get back in this game. Say hi to my lovely wife Suzanne tonight. She's down visiting her son Nick and Ashley in Woodstock. I've been left to have curling club food for the last 4 days. Too many coffees and too many muffins. Jason, how's your coffee consumption going here?
It's not too bad tonight.
Yeah? I don't think we've got any more coffee downstairs. I might have to have canteen coffee. I'm not sure about that. We have the NIMI providing food, and the Legion has been providing food all week for the event, and we'd like to thank both of them for being part of this as well. Many thanks to them. I may have to break down and get us some French fries before at the fifth end break, Jason. Okay, because there is something about arena French fries. There's something about it. I don't know what it is, but there's something about arena French fries.
I agree.
Over on sheet A, McCarville has put up another one. They're up 2-0 over McCormick. Team Burns has that center line nicely covered up, and Johnston's going to try to hit that center blue, and we roll over and catch a corner of the 12s. You can always come off the backside of that red as well, so you need to get the outside roll on this one. Help their cause. Might catch it too thin. And yes, just a little thin and rolls out. That's not what you wanted to do. Need to down 5-0. They need to keep the Rocks in play if they're hoping to mount a comeback here. Team Burns is going to throw it up. I'll just wait here, actually. We'll see what. Team Burns is running off that corner red. And it's gone and rolls out. Misses the blue. On sheet B, Despins has put up another single in the third end, and they're up 4-0. Well, we should check out their comments. Why don't we take a quick look at some comments? Oh, you're going to do it on your phone, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We can do that. See if anybody has any questions for us. What have we got here? Yes, only half of the house, Gabby Blair. Yes, something happened. We can't figure out what happened, and getting a step ladder out onto the ice was a thought that the ice makers didn't think was a really good idea. So we've had to leave that one camera. It's suspended above the ice sheet via a cable. So how that's happened, we're not sure, but we'll see if we can rectify that before the start of tomorrow's playoff games. And that's it. Wow. Not as many comments tonight as we had the other night when we had some streaming problems, so that's good. As I said, we figured out one of the problems with our streaming, and I'm glad to hear that it's working out well. Team Johnston's throwing a takeout on the shot rock. We've got a just off nose hit, little roll over, and just not quite enough to tuck behind that blue. Got a little piece of it buried. This makes Team Burns think about their options there, whether to chase it or run their blue into it. They're gonna run the blue into it. Takeouts have run pretty straight all week long. Very consistent. If you threw down weight just a little bit, I did see some of the women's games yesterday where they dropped their takeout weight just enough, and we had on a number of rinks we had a number of overcurls and ticks off the guards, but this one looks like she's just going to remove her blue. So mission accomplished there for Team Johnston. They increased the level of difficulty on that shot and got a miss, and now they can split the rings and look to get back a deuce, get back into this game. Haven't laid a broom to this one. And it's going to just hang on the back, yeah. Team Burns will play the open hit. Trying to get a roll over there and maybe force a jam onto that back one. Got the roll, it looks like. Got a good looking roll coming up here. Not quite far enough, but nice roll. Makes Johnston shot just that much harder. She's not going to be able to hit and roll to center. She's going to have to get a little flop. Might set the double up for Team Burns by keeping that rock over there. So Laura's going to try to hit this, roll it that they don't set that double up. Maybe tuck a corner of that shot rock she's about to throw. Maybe just behind that that corner red would be ideal. Looks like it's just, she's not got that roll. Team Burns will have to decide if they want to take the hit and roll or do the slash double on this shot. And from the ice she's looking at, I'm going to say she's going to try the slash double. Once again, we'd like to thank all our sponsors for their involvement with the week's activities. Wouldn't be possible without their gracious contributions. Here's Burns' shot. I think they might have left that just a little long. And they just missed it, yeah. Needed to be on that just a little bit sooner to get that double. Team Johnston has a shot at 2. Hit and keep it in the rings, and it'll be a 5-2 game and back in the game. Team Johnston's last shot here. Looking good. Got a nose hit and 2 for red. 5-2 is the score now. Team Adams in the sheet beside, he's on his last skip stone and looking at having to throw a off the wings double for 2. He's got to catch about a half a rock and missed it. And he took his own 3rd shot out. And the result is Looks like 2 more for blue. Team Mavs has had a good week this week, but their start against Team Workington is seen them got themselves into a hole. Back to our sheet C, Burns versus Johnston. Johnston threw the center guard up on the line, so that rock cannot be touched. Team Burns is elected to come around. Just biting the half in the forefoot. Over on sheet A, McCarville and McCormick. 3-0 for McCarville. They added one in the last end. Team Johnston throws down on top, a couple of feet short of the Burns rock, and Team Burns will follow that down again. Team Burns comes down, rubs off of the red, and exposed. Red's exposed. Johnston's got a piece of the blue. She looks like she's going to draw down, try to get on top of that blue. Joanne Forget, her shot. It's hanging out there. They're working on it. It's starting to get good looking, and there it comes. It starts to break, but short. As that weight comes off, it turns hard, but she just needed a couple of feet more weight. Team Burns is going to elect to start removing centerline guards. And clears a couple of, sent out the guard and a couple of the rocks in the house out. Burns lies one. It's got a biter on the outside 12 there. Might be able to use that later on. Forget her last shot. This looks good. Good weight, good line. Finishes just short of shot, but in a really good spot. Hit a little corner of that rock, but Team Burns looks like he's going to run the. They're going to run the red. This and just misses her own blue. So to thank Allen's Automotive, Ruben Allen, Kawasaki dealership for Manitoulin Island. Ruben's an avid curler, and we again thank him for his support for putting on this event. Kenzie Daly, her first, and she's throwing an intern. How tight they want this? Looks like she's going to have a little rub and roll there. Come off the corner and into the blue. Pretty good shot. Now, one red's exposed, but that second red isn't going anywhere. Burns may elect to try and come down and get some movement off of that red onto the second red and move her blue at least a little bit to open that red up for a subsequent shot. Vice's first stones. And here she goes. Gonna get a little inside roll and move that red and blue just a little bit. Didn't unlock, didn't really quite unlock it. Johnston's got a little, maybe a little more roll than they. No, it's nice spot. Like they're going to elect to play into the house versus try to run that center guard straight back. That's the overhead shot there. Blue line 1, red 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. With blue having hammer this end, so scoring a deuce here is Burns' goal. get that 2 back that they just gave up. Might elect to play off of that red outside red one. And she's going to wreck on the blue. If you can move that out of the way more, let's make that a more useful shot. That might have just complicated things for getting in for 2. Team Johnston comes down through that port, and we'll be line 4 with getting to the 4-foot starting to look a little more difficult. Don't think this is what Team Burns had in mind with a 5-2 lead to be in this position, but it's curling and things happen in curling. And she's got it, and they are line 4 and starting to get a little crowded in that in the house with red. This might be a time for a timeout to have a conversation about what and how to attack this. But well, we're getting some bouncing there on our camera. I was noticing we think we've rectified the technical difficulty on the one end here, where we pulled the bleachers were just too close to the glass, and the one camera on the homeward end was getting bounced a bit, but it looks like we've got our shot back here. Team Burns. Removes 1 red and sits 3rd now. And looks a lot better for blue now. But Team Johnston's going to have an opportunity to get another one in here. Looks like they're debating the pros and cons of in the house or short. Down 5-2, there's an argument to be had to throw a 3rd rock, maybe almost corner frozen onto that red rock, making it just that much more difficult for that blue raise for Burns to make. Looks like they're electing to throw a short guard. Seems to be where they're looking at right now. Johnston's delivery here. Rock's coming down. Covering half of that rock. Covers most of it now. Team Burns has got a outside half of that shot rock available. Shots on the way. Maybe just not enough, and a steal of 2 and 5-4. It has become a game once again. So we're at our 5th and break here. I'd like to again thank all our sponsors: Manitoulin Transport, Manitoulin Expositor, Moosehead Beer. Thank you, Moosehead Beer, for being a sponsor of our event.
Happy birthday! On, that's why I yelled it.
It's Jordan's birthday today, and once again, we'd like to thank Moosehead, or he would like to thank Moosehead.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a break. I'm gonna go get some canteen fries because there's nothing tastes better than arena fries.
Absolutely.
Sorry for missing that first rock at the end. We're still waiting on our fries to show up, Jordan. I placed an order, but the lineup was a little longer than I expected. So we're back to our game, 5-4. That fifth end certainly changed the dynamics of the game, and we've got a game again. Team Adams on sheet D, they came back with 3, and they are now down 6-3 on sheet D. Thank you, Mel.
No problem.
Thank you, Moosehead Beer, for being a sponsor again of Northern Ontario Men's and Women's 2024 Northern Provincial Playdowns. Team Burns with last rock this end. Team Johnston has shot rock outside 8 foot. Looks like it's slightly behind tee line, and so Team Burns has elected to throw up corner. Team Johnston, they're going to throw debating whether to throw guard or come around that corner. They're going to come around the corner and try to cut off and get in behind that corner first. Try to force Burns to a single. This end will be their goal. And that is looking like it's just going to be in the back of the house. That shot red is actually just on the tee line. Team Burns will come around that corner. They've elected to hit and roll as opposed to draw behind that corner. And nice shot. Very nice shot. Again, our apologies for that overhead camera on that shot. Has gotten a little askew, so you'll have to take our word for it. It was a nice shot. And it ended up in a good spot. There we go. There you can see that that blue kind of half buried. Game's all about increasing the difficulty of shots on your opponents, and those are the kind of shots, those rolls, that make your opponent have to throw a better, more difficult shot, and ultimately make for a win or a loss. Now that both of those rocks are behind the tee line, Team Burns is going to try to come around that corner guard again. as I said, we'll try to get those cameras readjusted for tomorrow's game for everybody's viewing pleasure. Nice shot. Has that buried. Shots underway. So that shot is on the right-hand side of center line, went across the hog line. And let's see where it ends up. It ends up short, but as again, no shortage of curl on this ice. It's been great ice all week, and take our hats off to the ice makers and all of the volunteers from all of the curling clubs around Manitoulin and Espanola for helping run an event of this size. So thanks very much, everyone. I'd like to thank the timekeepers as well and the job that they've done, and all the volunteers working at all the concessions, all the ticket sales. Again, it takes many people to make an event like this function. Team Johnston's going to remove the back blue, open blue. Nose hit. Red line first, third, and fourth. Ours can hit this and get that buried. She'll have a pretty enticing end looking at her. They're trying to take the roll the other way. End up with a nose hit. See that rock work its way up in the house. We're just behind button on that shot rock now. Team Johnston's shot underway. She's going to get mostly nose on that and mostly covering the button on that shot. Team Burns will have another chance to hit. They may elect to. Looking where we're at with rocks. We've got Skip's first rock for Team Burns here. They may elect to hit and just roll to the open side and be happy to exchange shots and take their two. Danger is if she rolls behind those corners, she likely is behind this T line and would give Team Johnston a chance to end the end quickly if they were able to freeze down on it. So I think they probably are hoping to roll this out 8 foot, wide open, exchange shots, get the 2 back. They just gave up on the seal. And she rolls out, so she's opened up the door for Johnston to maybe put the force on here and take away what looked like it was going to be a deuce for Team Burns. Got another warm day outside in Little Current, but the ice seems to have been holding up well. I'll try another split time here to see what draw weight's like. $14.2. She's by, and just a little deeper, I think, than she wanted to be. T-line weight, but up on the corner of that blue would have been probably made the shot just that much more difficult for Burns. Again, try to force your opponents to make a difficult shot, but buried enough that, yeah, I think she's got that buried enough that, you know, the ice they're taking, though, they're going to take a run at it. Trying to get it to curl. And they got it. Nice shot. Very nice. This ice has, again, been just wonderful ice to curl on. Those kind of shots, probably impossible in curling club ice, but on this ice, makeable. And it's, as I said, I think everyone's commented on how great the ice has been this week and how well it stood up in weather conditions that had everybody wondering if the warm weather was going to have an effect, being held in an arena. High humidity, lots of people coming and going, doors getting opened and closed. But it's held up great. So, again, our congratulations and thanks to the ice makers and all the volunteers involved in the ice making. Thanks. Burns is back with first shot. Johnston will have the hammer this end. (7-4). Officials are just in the process of posting that score. Over on sheet A, McCormick has put up 1 in the 6th. They're down 4-1. And Adams has stolen 2, and they are now just behind by 1, 6-5. So we've had 2 games where we've had leads disappear quickly. Workington had taken 2, 2, and 2. Adams came back with a 3 to answer and then stole 2 in the last end. 5-2 over on sheet B. Man is behind Despins. They have the hammer. Man does. Johnston will throw another one into the house. That blue closest to the house is on the center line, so that can't be removed or moved. It's a good looking shot. Just by. And top 12. Team Burns is by that front guard with lots to spare. Here it comes down and top 8 foot. Half buried. Definitely a rock they can use throughout the end here. Team Johnston's has the hammer, and so they're looking and questioning if it's time to start clearing that front up. Looks like Laura's asking for pretty good weight. Probably running blue into that second blue or red. Then Forget's got a piece of that into the blue, and makes that double raise. Just loses the one though. Both blues and reds are straight back now. No stagger on any of those rocks anymore. Team Burns is going to try to run that red back onto red. And got it. Just missed. Just missed. Team Johnston with the last shot here. Now it's got to decide what makes sense to remove or not remove. And they're going to call a timeout. Have a team discussion. Coach Darla is on her way out, and they'll have a conversation about what they as a group think is their best bet to try to get a couple back this end. Team Johnston's out of the North Bay Granite Club. Team Burns represents the Northern Credit Union Curling Club. Timeouts are 1:30 seconds. Each team is allotted 2 timeouts in regular play. If we go to an extra end, 4.5 minutes and an extra timeout is given to each of the teams. Our game here is 7-4. We're playing the 7th end. Johnston has last rock. And line 1. Got seconds last shot. And got the skinny double and knocks one blue out. The other blue's just biting the back. Nice shot. Team Burns will have most of that, if not all that red exposed, but that was a very nice shot. Places first shot underway. Softway takeout. And it just squeaks by in a really nice roll. That's going to make that next shot for Team Johnston's a difficult one. They could split it. I think that probably makes the most sense. That's what Laura's looking at. You can get to it with the out turn, but I think at this point in the game that splitting those rocks might be. Well, she looks like they're gonna take a run at that rock. They've decided not to split the rock and raise red onto blue. Delivery underway. Mackenzie Daly's shot. And she's going to rub off that blue, it looks like. She did, just rubbed off that blue. Burns will try to eliminate this second shot red and sit 2 and try to force Team Johnston to 1 over the course of the vice skip rocks. Nice hit. Roll to the outside. No double possibilities. Johnston's team will play onto shot rock and try to get a roll behind some of those blue rocks that in the top 12 and just out of the 12. Mackenzie Daly's second shot underway. And she's looking like she's not quite, no, just hit it just a little thick, curled it just enough at the end there. It didn't get a roll. Team Burns will likely want to roll away from those blues in the corner and just a wide open hit is what they're hoping to leave. I think Team Johnston, I don't think they want to get get too complicated and get behind get behind those corners, but they're going to stay just about there, and they're going to give Team Johnston a difficult shot. It's almost edge on edge, those blues. The only way to make that is just to slipper by that front blue to get a roll, and whether Team Johnston's prepared to take on the risk of that shot at this point, down 7-4, or whether just to hit and roll and take their one. I think they're probably having that discussion right now. I'm going to play a soft weight shot at this, given the ice that they've taken here. (6-1) is the final score on sheet A. Team McCarville has defeated Team McCormick. They've called it a game. Team Johnston gets a little bit of a roll, a quarter buried on that blue. Whether Team Burns is going to bite at that or just throw out to the open side. Laura needed just a little bit more weight on that, and she would have had that blue shot pushed back enough that she'd be shot. Oh, and we're getting some bouncing on our camera, I see there. Krista lines up her final shot of the end. She's just going to cover up that shot rock. Laura will draw, it looks like. I don't know whether you could throw it. I have to move that. Jordan, can we just go do a quick overview, see if we've got a good visual on that? Yeah, we can't see how far they'd have to move that shot stone. Again, we'll work on those cameras tomorrow for everybody. Final shot of the end for Team Johnston. Last shot. Sweepers are working hard at it. Vice comes out to help. And going to be a little bit short. Team Burns steals one. So after 7 ends, it's 8-4. Team Burns over Team Johnston. We're into the 8th end. Team Adams versus Team Workington. 8-5 is the score. Team Workington scored 2, looks like in the 7th, to open up that lead again. And 5-3 is the score over on the Team Despins, Team Man. And that's Team Despins ahead 5-3. Back in our sheet, Burns throws a center line top 8-foot blue. Team Johnston's going to throw the corner out again. Brock comes to rest about halfway between the hog line and the house, and Team Burns is going to throw another one towards center line.
We're heading off to the club.
I think tonight is the appreciation party next door.
Mr. Chandler?
Jordan, my tech guy, it's his birthday today, so I think that Jordan might
have to stop in.
stop in. I think I'll stop in as well. Again, that'll be tonight. If anybody in town would like to come to the curling club, will be. I think we have some entertainment tonight. Jordan?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
No.
I think we have entertainment tonight. I think it's. Oh, it is Kristen. I can't think of his last name. Funny guy, good guitar player, has some of his own songs. I think they might have libations, and it's your birthday.
Sounds like a
And
great time.
Yeah, Jordan, how old are you now?
38 years old.
38.
Yeah.
Wow. 40's coming then, soon.
Unfortunately, yeah.
That happens. From somebody in their 60s, take better care of your knees.
Noted.
Knees and back, those are the two. We've got Team Burns, 2 in the house. Team Johnston's got a corner. And they've got a third shot sitting outside 12 foot behind that corner. Burns is elected to not take a run at the corner, and they've got a shot that's just going to rub and roll. Team Johnston looks like they've got a nice little pocket there to good corner. You could get frozen or even half cornered on that outside blue, and your Red Rock would not be going anywhere on one shot. They need to muster up. They need to get a couple of points at least. 3 is really almost a necessity. Weight looks a little bit hot. And she's going to, yeah, she's going to push that blue back behind T line. Burns will have a free run at that red. She could even choose, if she wanted, to try that slash double. I don't think coming off those blues and wrecking into those blues and maybe sending those blues out would not necessarily be a bad thing. Delivery's underway. Pretty good weight at this. Get a little inside roll, but not going to get the double slash. I think Team Johnston's got to be leaning towards throwing a freeze into this mess of blues. We're still on Second's last shot. The angles on that nose hit blue to kill those two blues looks like that top blue might go into that corner red that's behind cover, and that would be a disaster. They've still got one timeout left. I think Team Johnston's used one. I don't believe that Team Burns has used a takeout yet. Clocks are too far off in the distance to see what and how much time is left. Jordan, how's your 38-year-old eyesight?
Not from this far.
No, my 63-year-old eye can't see it either. So. Team Johnston's throwing some weight at this. Gonna hit the crotch there and kill two. Didn't catch her own on the way by, which is great, but the red spins out and does not spin back in. It looked like it was gonna try and grab there and do one of those Savardian spinoramas back into the sheet, but it's blue line first, second, red line third, around and behind that corner red. So missed opportunity there. Team Burns is elected to finally take a run at that corner and take it off. They roll across the full sheet, and they're out. Team Johnston now's they've got some decisions to make about how to generate some points this end. Nothing out front now. They're going to have to use blue rocks to try to generate more than just a single this end. They could try to run the double and exchange rocks through the rest of the end. It's we're on to Vice Rocks. Tell that's Vice's first. This looks like, yes, it's Mackenzie Daly's first shot. They've elected to draw. They're throwing down to that back. So they've elected to throw a maybe draw and froze. Nice shot. They've frozen down to that back red rock. Their shot now. Very nice shot. Once again, raise the degree of difficulty on your opponent's shot. It's the goal when you're trying to score some need to score some extra points. As a result, Team Burns just decides to hit the open red Team Johnston will come back down and they'll try to put another one on top of the rock that they've just thrown. Mackenzie Daly will try to replicate her first shot. Line looks pretty good. Sweepers are on it. Line looks really good. Here it comes. Starting to break. And just a little tap, tap. But nice shot. Got about 3 or 4 inches separation between each of those 3 rocks. Burns has the option here of catching a corner of that. She's going to need big weight. And she's got about half of that rock. Looks like it's exposed. A little bit more than half of that rock exposed. As I said, we've seen through the week, though, if you drop your weight on a shot like this, easy to over curl. See what kind of weight she throws at this. Oh, and she has just, ticked the front, but made contact. Just a little bit of a redirect on that. And what happened there, folks, was we've got, still have 2 reds in the house. They're counting first, and looks like, tough to tell from this angle. Overhead, we can't tell because we haven't got it. We got to work on this. Tomorrow, I don't know who's going up that ladder, but somebody's got to go up a ladder tomorrow. It's a union shop, so I think it's got to be. I think it's got to be a union guy go up.
Yeah.
We better not tell the ice makers we're doing that, or they're gonna yell at us, I think. Johnston's shot underway. And she needed, she's got just a little, maybe just a little deep. There is the jam though. Those reds are pretty close together, and it's gonna, you lose the back red with big weight, but I don't think, given how close those rocks are together, I think that top red's probably not going anywhere. For her, it's going to be critical to keep that shooter in play and counting. At least out-counting the outside red. Shot underway. Not playing a lot of weight at it. And comes off a little bit and opens up the door for that top blue, though. That top blue is helping Team Burns. Their third shot, so just a little off center, and try to keep that red rock to count 2. Need just a little inside roll on this. Get the score to 8-6 if Team Johnston can score 2 here. He's thrown a fair bit of weight at it. looking pretty good. She's going to get a little thin. And we can't tell from here. It's close. She hit and rolled off the blue and rolled into red on the outside. And whether or not they've they've made a decision, but we'll wait for that decision. One red for sure, maybe two, but GD, as I said, it's 8-5. We're playing in the 8th end. And we've got Team Workington, line 2, actually line 3. Team Adams has last shot. Their skip is about to throw last shot and needs to put it on the pin to take one. I'll let you know how that's. It looks like he's got lots of weight. It looks heavy. And he slips back 4 foot and will give up one, maybe two. Their teams are looking at each other like it might be handshake time. They're having, and the gloves are off and handshakes, and Team Morkington has defeated Team Adams, and they will progress to tomorrow to play. I think they're playing Team Bonin, I think, tomorrow.
Not sure.
I think that's the early game tomorrow. So it was just one for Team Johnston. That roll just went too far for them to count two. And so they are down 8-5 against Team Burns. First two shots have been thrown. Burns has a top 12 foot, and Johnston is a just off center line short guard, tight guard. Team Burns is hot. And that's through the back of the house and just not quite out. That's one of those trip hazards in curling, in the curling club. Team Johnston will try to come around that just off center guard. I'm sure they're disappointed about only getting one that end. 8-6 makes that game just that much closer. They pretty much have to steal their way home into the 9th and the 10th to secure a victory. Team Burns, their decision will be how clean do they want to keep these last two ends. We're on to second shots, so they've elected they're going to take a run at the red guards. Sarah Guy delivers. And she hits and rolls out. Clears up that back. Trip hazard rock is gone, and Team Johnston will try to throw another one. Joanne Forget, her first shot. It's hanging out there. It's going to be wide open. Full 12 foot, but wide open. Again, we'll thank Ruben Allen and Allen's Automotive for their sponsorship. I'll go quickly through some more of our sponsors again to thank tonight. We'd like to thank Manitoulin Transport and the Smith family and all the help and workers that have been provided by them. Manitoulin Fresh Mart, Mike and Don Wall, the Legg family from Manitoulin Chrysler, KT and Craig from Country 103, and the town of Nimi, and all of the arena support staff that have made this possible. Team Burns removes that last Team Johnston shot, and Team Johnston will try to get a better one here, buried around that red. This one looks better. Gets around that corner and hopefully doesn't see if it peeks out the other side, and nicely buried. Burns will take a run at just removing that red, peel it off. Doesn't get the roll they wanted. Leaves that blue out front, and Team Johnston will try to take advantage of that half shot. They cover the center line and the red rock, and just enough of a port there to try to tease somebody to get through it, but she's just going to run the red. They're just going to run the red off. Also like to take a moment and remember Lou Langtree. Lou had volunteered for the NOC AA Provincial Championships. Unfortunately, Lou passed away on November 23rd in his 90th birthday and wasn't able to see this, but Lou was a great contributor to the curling clubs all over the island, and Lou will be certainly missed, and his smile will certainly be missed. Team Johnston running out of rocks here. Skips first shots. Trying to get get that center line mostly covered and maybe a little bit of that red. Maybe tempt Burns to take a run at a difficult shot. She got a corner onto that blue, so Team Burns, they've got an open. They'll have an open side to draw. Whether they want to try get into the house now or just run that off and get both of those guards moving. It's like they've elected to take a run at the guards. Over on sheet B, it's now 7-3. Team Despins versus Team Man. Just catches the red, doesn't get both, and Team Johnston's going to try to throw that cover that red up and force Team Burns to a draw for one. Team Johnston's last shot here. Line looks good. Weight looks good. Nice shot. Team Burns will throw the out turn. Probably need to catch a little bit of the forefoot, be enough to score one. Some of our bronze sponsors we'd like to thank: Loco Beans of Little Current, the Anchor Inn, D&H Electric, and Mackenzie Carpentry. Thanks everyone for all your help. Krista's last shot here underway. They're just keeping it clean. Get by that blue and T-line weight. Team Burns scores one. So after 9 ends, 9-5 on sheet C. Again, Jordan, thanks again for your help tonight. Appreciate that. And we thank the Manitoulin Secondary School for all their help in providing the streaming service.
Give a specific shout out to Chris Diesmeyer and Mel Chang.
Thanks to both of them. I didn't get to do the techie thing with Chris.
No.
We had to call him though on Wednesday night to deal with some of our technical issues.
He's the tech guru for us, so
okay.
He helps us out for sure.
Team Burns has thrown their first rock tight to the button. Team Johnston will throw the corner up. Yes, we don't have the budget that some of the Western provinces have for their playdowns as far as providing streaming services. And unfortunately, last year we had a major sponsor that specifically sponsored the event and provided the streaming coverage. And we unfortunately did not have that this year. And so we had to look at alternatives to be able to bring you the streaming package that we've been able to present. So again, I'd like to thank the high school and everyone that was involved in providing that and helping us bring that to everyone. So again, thanks again for that, Jordan, and pass on our thanks to Chris as well.
I certainly will. Thank you very much. This has given our high school a great opportunity to stream our live sports as well.
Yeah, is the plan then to use those cameras in the gym?
Yep, that's
Televised
correct.
basketball, volleyball?
Basketball, volleyball games. Most of our games are played during the day, so oftentimes parents don't get to see their.
Oh, what a great idea! Yeah, you get to see. You can't see your kid.
No,
You can see your kid play.
now they can watch at work.
Perfect. That's a win-win for everybody.
It sure is.
Good. Assemblies. You could
Yes.
televise assemblies.
Everything.
The
Musicals.
awards banquets.
Graduation.
Graduation.
The list goes on.
The list goes on. Well, I'm glad this has worked out.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah, those graduation commencement and the bursaries that
Yes.
are part of Manitoulin Secondary School, I am always impressed by the
And-
amount of money that gets presented.
Not many
to
other
kids.
schools get the community support like we do here
Oh.
on the island, so it's a pretty special place, that's for sure.
I think that in my high school, I think we got a stick of gum.
Yeah, there wasn't much.
That was it. That was it.
Lost in a sea of people.
I didn't have a big high school either, but we didn't have anything near the likes of. I think high school is what, about, is it 600?
We've got just over 400 right
400.
now.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, my high school was a little bit bigger than that, but we didn't have nearly the kind of bursaries that MSS seems to be able to have been able to support their graduating classes with.
Certainly, it is pretty amazing. A lot of our graduates come back and they get recognized by groups in the community, and I think that goes a long way in helping some of these graduates find their way back to the island eventually to help contribute back to the community.
Mm-hmm. Johnston's got a couple of corners here, and nice looking shot. Maybe a little bit heavier than they wanted, but still T-line wake, so good shot. They are running out of rocks, though. It might have peaked itself out on the backside there, but Burns is just going to run the front off. Little tick and knocks her own out, but stays. I'll send a shout out to a recently retired MSS teacher co-worker of yours that's retired and maybe listening to this down in Honduras.
Oh,
Mr. Gurney.
Mr. Gurney. Enjoying the sun.
He's enjoying. I don't think he's watching curling though.
I don't think so.
No. Maybe after curling, but not. And Team Johnston's come up short on that one, unfortunately. That pretty much puts an end to, I think, their hopes. They're down to 4 rocks left. Team Team Burns will just keep throwing on anything that's high, and then eventually they're going to have to come into the house. They've still got a chance. Get around that corner. That corner's still a good corner. It's got that second shot protected. Mackenzie Daly shot here. She's going to... It looks a little light. It's starting to curl hard, and she's light, unfortunately, on that one. The only good thing is the stagger on that red lines up that it's going quite possibly onto that. It's kind of a natural into that blue, so you may just elect to take to peel one of those rocks off. Chris has seen that, recognized that possibility, and so what she's not going to let that happen. So she's taken some extra ice, and it looks like they're just going to play onto the one red. Now, having said that, she just flashed that one and by everything. So we've got three red rocks left, and corner guards, and we've got third last shot here. If they can get this buried, looks a little hot, and it's got by lots. They don't want to rub off this and roll open. And here it goes. There it goes. Nice shot. Nice shot. The end got very interesting. It's curling is a funny game. You miss the wrong shot or the right shot at the wrong or the right time, and
the door.
Yeah, the door can get open and the door can get closed very fast in curling. You can miss 7 straight shots and miss your last one and score. You can make 7 shots and miss the last one and get scored against. So Team Burns needs they need to come down on top of this and either choke off another come around. If they what they don't want to be here is short. They come up short on this or over curl, and Team Johnston, there's still some light. Line looks pretty good. It's got lots of room. It's got a curl. It's trying. There it goes. And I don't know if that's. I don't know. That doesn't look from here like it's third. It looks like blue first, red second, third. So Team Johnston is still in the hunt here. Laura Johnston's first. I think she's by just. Nice shot, but it's going to over curl. Oh, over curled. Just played that too tight to the front one. Hard to believe it can curl that much, but when that weight comes off, that rock takes off. That was a good try, but Team Burns now split the house. One option. They can even give. They actually doesn't. They can put this almost anywhere and even give the double up. And worst case scenario, they give up 3, and they win by 1. So that was an unfortunate overcurl by Laura Johnston. Mr. Burns, she elected to throw the guard on that rock, and it's handshakes for the teams. Well curled game. Team Burns comes out victorious over Team Johnston. And tomorrow we will continue our playoffs. We'll be back, I believe, at 9:30 is the next game. And 9 a.m. Sorry.
Is that a
For
wrap?
everyone, it's 9 a.m. tomorrow is our game. Men's semifinal. They still have to determine whether or not a tiebreaker's needs to be taken with the women's game.
No, there's no tiebreaker.
Joe, no tiebreaker?
No, it's ready.
We are live, Joe. You're on.
That's okay.
Just so
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
So no tiebreakers in the women's game.
Women's final tomorrow morning.
And tomorrow it will be Team McCarville versus
I think it's Team Johnston.
Team.
Who just
Well,
won?
Team Just Johnston lost.
Just lost.
So Team Burns beat.
Sorry,
Team Johnston.
Team Burns
So Team Burns
against Team McCarville.
against Team McCarville will be the women's final tomorrow at 9 a.m. And we have the men's semifinals,
That's
which
right.
will be Bonet
Yeah.
against
Workington.
Workington. That was quite a game they had. That was a tale of two games, that one.
That's for sure.
And so that game will be also at 9 a.m. The winner of that will face Team Horrigan at 1:30, and that will be for the Northern Ontario men's representative to the 2024 Canadian Brier. I think brought to you by Montana's.
That's right.
Yes.
It's not Tim Hortons anymore. Those Brazilians. Had to put a little there. Well, thanks again, everybody, for listening to and watching our telecast tonight. We'll see you tomorrow, and maybe we'll hear you tomorrow as well. Okay. Take care. Enjoy your night.